Hey guys, Jamie Don here, and I'm coming to you this evening with a DIY project for not one, but two tabletop planter boxes that are primarily for fake plants. I'm going to show you exactly what you're going to need for this project. So what I have here, now I've already painted this pallet wood. I have 4 pieces of pallet wood here that are all the same width. You just put your pallet wood on in. You see that you got 4 pieces that are pretty much the same width, and you go with them. Now on the other one I'm going to build, I've got 2 pieces that are one width and 2 pieces that are a little bit wider. The only reason I'm doing that is because this one will end up being square and 12 inches tall. This one will be a little bit more rectangular, and since this one is going to be smaller, in size, it'll be a smaller square. This will be a little larger rectangle. This one will be 12 inches tall, and then this one will be like 15 or 16 inches tall. The only materials you need for this, other than your pallet wood, is a good quality wood glue. You will need your trusty tape measure, a hammer, some small finish nails, a pen for marking, and your hand saw. Now I've got this little miter box mounted here to my work table. All it does is it ensures that I can get a good cut, or I can get a 22.5 degree angle or a 45 degree angle, to make good corners if I was doing something. We're not going to get into angles on this. If all you have is a hand saw for wood, pick up a little inexpensive, speed square. That way you can mark a straight line across your wood, follow that line to get your cut straight. That is all the tools you need for this job. So now we're going to get started. You want to make sure that the ends of your wood are, just make sure you get a decent clean end. I like leaving the nail holes. It just adds character to the rustic look. So now we're going to cut our pieces, or I'm going to measure all these 12 inches long and cut them. Lay your saw on your miter box. Put your saw on your mark. Now I have mine mounted to this. You may have to hold yours in place. Put your saw on the mark and just start cutting. Make sure it's in there square. And let the saw do the work. You don't think I'm cutting all this by hand, do you? I'm breaking out the saw. You will notice that other than my new lover over there, did y'all see that video? The new love of my life? Other than that beautiful, sexy thing over there, the only tools in my life are Ryobi, the cordless 18. I am not sponsored by Ryobi, by the way. The only reason I'm using the white pre-painted wood is because I had it on hand left over, and I'll show you what I'm going to do to distress that, because it's actually pretty cool, and you can do it with any color. I mean, that's what's awesome. I'm going to show you all a trick in this DIY video as well about how to get a very easy distress look. You do need a palm sander for that, but you can pick them up pretty cheap. I mean, you can go to Harbor Freight and get one for probably 20 bucks. Your sandpaper, you get it at Harbor Freight, Home Depot, Walmart, and get it anywhere. So, but it's a pretty neat little trick to know. Now this piece here, I don't know how well you can see it or not, but I mean, it's got a huge deal in the bottom. I like it. Gives it character. And for the look that I'm going for, it works. Now, I mean, if you wanted to if you wanted to get these to a stain grade, you could, just do some sanding. Okay, so this is roughly what your little tabletop planter is going to look like. Go straight down from the top. You can see where this one is here. You see how you have to alternate how your corners are, and that's what keeps it square. Okay. So we're going to deal with this one first. We're going to glue it up. I am sure that we have all glued before. But since I know how I need these done, that's why I laid them out first. So I just put this one here. Okay, and then I will lay this one out the same way. So all we're going to do now is I'm going to use the tight bond. Maybe I might use the Elmer's glue. No, there we go, I got it. So all I'm going to do is just put a little bead of glue right down on this one here. And I don't want to squeeze glue out everywhere, and it just holds better if you just get a nice even coat all the way down. Luckily that will be on the inside, so it's not really going to matter. I've got a rag over here just off camera, but okay, so I mean I'm going to sand these when I'm done, so that glue really isn't a big deal. But just make sure your corners are lined up. You're square on the bottom and the top. And then just let that sit. And in a few minutes, we can put these two together. Do y'all know how hard it is to film this without a cameraman? Constantly adjusting the camera. Constantly having to edit all that out before you see it. Pain. The stuff I do for y'all. Now I sound like a parent. Okay, so anyway, I'm doing the same thing on this one, so I'm just going to hold it up high where you can see it. I really wouldn't recommend you holding it up right to your face, but you know, hey, whatever makes you comfortable. Okay, so wipe your excess off. And again, just line up your edges there. Your top and your bottom. I've got one that's a little bit different in length, but we'll survive. While those two are setting up for a few minutes, I'll just carefully slide them out of the way, and we will start gluing up the second one that will be trying to get this where I can get everything I'm doing on. Okay, so for this one, you want to take a big piece and a little piece. Okay, so you know that those are going to go like that. Your other little piece is going to go on the outside of that. So all you're doing is mocking this up to line your pieces up. So now I know that I want to glue those two together just like that. I want to glue the other two together, so I just held them together the way I want them to go together. So basically all I did. So I'm going to glue these up the same way I did the first two. See, I'm cutting my head off. Brought to you by McDonald's. Not really. So I'm just going to glue these up real quick. Take a quick break. And we will be right back. Okay, y'all gonna be looking at my fat gut. Don't judge me. Summer's over, I can be fat now. Actually, what I'm gonna do is get my nails started in this one. Now the nails I'm using are pretty damn small. I mean, they're a number 17 and they're only an inch long. I can handle the heat. Okay, so now on this, this is why I started my nails first, because now I can just get that one in. line up the bottom and get that one in. See, now that first one's in, now I have a little nail punch. I could actually countersink these, and I will, but I'm not too worried about doing that at the moment. So now on this one, I can pretty much do the same thing. And just actually, because it's this narrow one, that will go here. No, it'll go there. So on this one, I can actually lay this that way. Put my glue across here. Smear it a little bit. It just gives you better coverage. Okay. It's not going to hurt that glue to just sit for a couple of minutes. Have your nails. So now I'll pull this back over. This one's going to probably try to be a bear. I didn't pick the best piece here, but it's alright. Remember, I mean, these are rough wood projects. So, you know, nothing has to be perfect. Okay, so now this piece will go. It does help if you get the loose splinters off the ends. Okay, so this piece is going to go just like so. So, just like we did on the others. Drop a couple of more nails in that. I gotta get this glue off my fingers. Nice thing about it is if it dries, we all know how glue is. Just roll it off your fingers. Because remember, I'm going to give these away. I will draw the winner probably on Monday. Yeah, it will be. It'll be on Monday. So I'll give everyone all the way through the weekend. But you have to like the video. First, you have to be a follower of my page. Then you have to like this video. And you have to share this video on your page. I mean, guys, y'all see how fast this is going, and I haven't even. So, there it is from the top. Actually, I'm going to use this as the top of mine because it's okay. So there's that one. I'll just set it off out of the way. These should be set up enough to where I can glue these, or they're already glued, or I can nail them. See, I glued that one wrong. Not that it's a big deal. just wipe the glue off. I was going to try to be all slick about that, and yeah, well, I'm not slick. Okay, this is where it gets tricky. If you can just stick a nail in somewhere where you can, there you go. So there's that one. And now we will do the same thing with this one. So a little bit of glue here. Now you may notice I did not put any glue on this because of how tight it's all fitting together. If I pull it apart, it's going to mess it up. So I just, instead of just doing 3 nails on this side, I will do 4. So basically, here's our 2 pieces. I like this one because it does have that rough edge on it. But, I mean, basically there they are. Now we will put bottoms on these, and that's fairly easy. This one may get a little tricky because of this corner here, but I think, and I'll show you how. Alright, so as it turns out, I do not have sandpaper for my palm sander. And I'm just old, fat, and lazy. So I'm not going to distress this by hand, but I am going to distress it. Break out the big guns. Now this could go horribly wrong, because a belt sander's pretty aggressive. I've got an 80 grit paper on here. Ooh-wee, sorry, had to get the new paper adjusted the way to my liking. So now, this could go horribly wrong. And to my surprise, it's not. One more little trick. So I'm not going to fire up an air compressor and do all that. Air in a can. So now we have it. It's probably going to be hard to see out here in the daylight. Now we have this nice distressed look on the white. It's really hard to get white on camera. I mean, it's just... So, there we have it. So now, I'm going to do the big piece the same. And guess what? I do have something to put in these for a final picture. Remember earlier I said I'm not so slick? Maybe I am. Look, I'm just hot and delirious at this point, but we're gonna get this done, and you're gonna like this. This project, you know, if you painted your wood and let it dry, the painting takes, I mean, all of 5 minutes, maybe 10. You know, the distressing, if you have a palm sander with the right sandpaper, I mean, you see, I mean, I built these in about, honestly, about 10 minutes a piece. After the cutting the wood. So I mean, all in all, it's about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours with the time that you have to let your paint dry and do all that. So let's call it a 2-hour project. And pallet wood is free everywhere you look. The little bitty nails might cost you $2 at Walmart. A can of spray paint, if that's the way you go, is going to cost you $4. I mean, you can build these, in all honesty. I mean, the glue's going to cost you, I don't know, $5 or $6 depending on the size of it that you get. Maybe less. So I mean, let's just say you can build these for $10. And I mean, that's for a pair. So anyway, I'm gonna quit rambling. I'm gonna get the white one done. I'll get them set up inside, get them staged where they look all nice and pretty, take a picture of them, and you'll see the finished project.